What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Beyond the 90. First of all, just want to give an apologies again. Where have I been gone? I've just been awfully sick the last couple of weeks. I wish I would have brought you some team content. I'll give you some of my thoughts on the recent window that's happened so far. And again, now that I'm a bit better, I'm going to try and give you some content because there's been a few teams. Obviously, with Zaha potentially is signing. We're looking at the Greek striker, and obviously we signed the Argentinian guy from Brighton on loan. I'm going to give you some of those thoughts later, but just in terms of this, I want to give you some thoughts and some kind of announcements as we go through. First of all, I want to say I didn't manage to see the Augsburg game or the Lens game, but I'm really worried. Weirdly, when we started the preseason, obviously let's take it right back to the beginning of the season. When we had, again, Graham Potter, we had Corberan as the two leading managers, thinking, okay, we're going somewhere, we're doing something. Didn't quite happen. Then we got Cooper in, and I had my days of meltdown. We've gone from that level down to Steve Cooper. And then I was thinking, I had a few days of just sulking and moaning. Then after a while, kind of got over it, got the acceptance phase. I was like, okay, let's build. Let's see what Steve Cooper can build. He's more malleable than Enzo Maresca, etc. Let's see what he can do. And the preseason started off quite well from watching the first game, the tactics, to see what he was trying to do and see what he's trying to build and go with the team, especially with the young players. Now, as the games got on, I expect there to be more and more a concise idea of what we're doing, who's going to be in the first team, what style we're going to play, what formation we're going to play. And slowly, as a normal preseason goes on, you get to the point where this is the starting 11, this is the team that we're going to play, and this is what we're going to try and achieve. Unfortunately, reading people like Rob Tanner, Matt Piper, Mike Stowell, who was on the commentary for BBC Radio Leicester, was really interesting. Them players, and them, I was really surprised at the commentary that they were saying. And from reading the stats, looking at the stats around the game, looking at some of the highlights, especially in the Lens game, I looked at the highlights they put out, and there was barely any identity, what the team was doing, where they're going. And I hate talking negative about team, but I've just got to see what I can say. Now, it's not just from me watching the highlights. It's also from speaking to people that watch the game, people that have been on the channel before, and also people that went to watch the game live, comments, punditry, journalists, just all over to trying to get the best opinion. And it's got worse, which is so surprising. Steve Cooper is saying things now where he's almost like say throwing the squad under the bus. But some of the comments he's been making would be quite alarming, in my opinion. We've not got the right players. I think he said in the second half of the Lens game that there was nothing positive to take. And I was like, Jesus, where's this Steve Cooper gone? At the beginning of the season, it was quite passionate, quite like, look, I know where this team is going. He wants to be here. He wants to try and fight the team. I still think he does. But some of his comments were alarming. The board needs serious look at, because what's happening right now, again, I hope that I come back to this video in about a month's time when we've played again a month's worth of Premier League football and we go, cool, I got that all wrong. We've had a bad pre-season. It's not just about the results. Again, I don't really care as much about the results. It was the passage of play. Now, if you go back to the Lens, they released 11 minutes of play in that game. Was there a moment or two where you're like, yeah, that's what Leicester City are trying to do? Not really. Yes, it's a pre-season friendly. Yes, we can understand that, the results don't matter. 100% understand that. But I'm concerned going into the season. And I thought we'd stay up comfortably. Again, it could be just the first game of the season. It changes, then we go. But I am a bit worried. I might break it down in a bit more detail in terms of what I've heard and some of the styles of play, because again, formation-wise, again, in football, it's not really that important, but it's the purpose, what people are doing in certain positions. And it just seems like we're getting the ball, not playing the creative or risky pass or pass that's going to move us forward. We're just going, we'll move it to the back, we'll pass it around the back. And then if we're going to go forward, we're going to lump it up top. Well, we haven't got the players to really lump it up top. And I'm a bit concerned going into this season. I'd love to be proved wrong, where, again, I get this completely wrong and we are ended up in a good space. and we end up again kicking on, certainly onto the Premier League. A couple of other things to mention, obviously Connor Cody, who I think's been an underrated defender for us. I think Steve Cooper ranks quite high. I would have him in my starting for playing a back three or a back four. I'd probably have him in there as a centre back. He's out injured for at least a month. Jamie Vardy's still out as well. Stolarczyk, who I know is getting a good keeper, but he's out for 4 to 6 months as well. So it's not looking too promising. We've got the squad there. If we add some additions, like a couple of additions, as has been rumoured to, I think we've got a good enough squad to stay up. But at the moment, it doesn't seem like a lot of things are there. It doesn't seem like the fitness is there, which is strange, or the idea. And yes, Steve Cooper's had a short time to turn this around and coming into a new team and new squad, but they just don't look ready. And that's the main thing that is really concerning. We almost need another preseason to be ready for the Premier League. We don't have that anymore. We have 1 week. Yes, we might be a little bit fortunate because we play on the Monday against Tottenham. We'll be doing some previews and that for that coming out later. But in general, we're in a bad spot. And it doesn't mean they can't turn it around. It just means at this moment in time, I'm not too happy with the way that things are. And finally, before we go, because again, I will have some more videos coming out about the players that we've signed, etc. I wanted to say, shout out to Anil. You've seen him on the channel so many times. I'll make sure to link him in the chat. He's released an hour's video. If you've watched the channel, you know how good he is. He's finally set up his own channel. Now, please click the link in the chat. For an hour, he goes over the whole of pre-season on his own channel with Luke, who you would have seen on this channel from Foxes Down Under. And they go through all of pre-season in a lot more detail than me. So if you've enjoyed this video and you like the stuff we do here, I'm so glad that Anil has finally created his own YouTube channel now, because I've said to him he should do for a while. I'm really glad he is. It's called For Fox's Sake TV. So again, click the link in the chat. So yes, that's the final plug I want to give, because again, he does some fantastic work for his channel, and Luke's as well. I'm finally glad that we're starting his own. So make sure to get involved in that one. Go subscribe, and we will be back with more content now. I'm feeling a lot better. Again, appreciate everybody being patient with us. Again, now that we're coming into the season, you're going to get more of what you got a couple of seasons ago. Previews with fans, also like maybe tactical analysis a little bit, some rumours and transfers until the window closes. But there may be more of these kind of videos, not the one where you set up with the green screen, just because, again, the time that it takes to set up, and unfortunately, I just don't have the time at the moment. So yes, hopefully you enjoy the video. Make sure you go and click that link in the chat, in the title, to go and join there. Like and subscribe, everybody. We'll see you all in the next video. So goodbye.